today we'll be learning about equations of parallel and non-parallel lines. Now this is basically an extension of the video that Mr. Majid made last time. Now I'm just going to want to make a point about a couple things before we enter or do a couple problems. And to note differences between parallel lines and non-parallel lines. And again, a lot of this you know already, but it's just good to kind of confirm these concepts beforehand. So with parallel lines, we have the same slope versus non-parallel. They have different slopes. I've given you examples, same slope, same slope. Now, if we have same slope, these two lines will never intersect. On the other hand, with different slopes, and as you can see, we have -2 as slope here, 1/2 as a slope here. We do have the same y-intercept, but that is where they do cross and they do intersect. All right, so for example 1, we have the following question. We have, find the equation of the line passing through the point of A, which is 2, 1, and parallel to the line, which is y is equal to 2x plus 5. Now, key word here is parallel. When we see the word parallel, if there's a line parallel to this line, we know the slope is going to be 2. Now, Mr. Majid showed you 2 ways to do this last time. I will show you one of those ways, and the other way I'll show very quickly. But right off the bat, we do know that our line, which I put in y is equal to mx plus b form, has a slope of 2. We're going to use our point to our advantage. So for x, we're going to end up plugging in 2. And for y, we're going to end up plugging 1. We get a y-intercept, or in this case b, as -3. We're going to plug that right back in. So our equation of our line is 2x minus 3. All right, like I said earlier, there are 2 ways to do this. I've already started on the second way, which is using point-slope form. So I'll finish this up and you guys can see how our answers match up. Alright, so for this problem, for example 2, we have the following. Find the equation of the line which passes through the point A, which is 2, 1, and is parallel to the line 2x plus 3y is equal to 5. Now, again, the first thing you want to look for is, well, if it's parallel, we need to find the slope for this line. And I think some of you might say, well, it's 2. 2's right in front of the x, so our slope is 2. Well, it's not quite that easy. Again, you have to look at whether it is in y equals mx plus b form. In this case, it is not. So it is our job to basically fix it and to have our y by itself, where it is in y equals mx plus b form. That's the first thing we need to do to find what the actual slope is. We don't know what the slope is yet. Okay, so we're going to solve for a y. Okay, so in this case, we have a slope of -2/3. That is our slope. Now we can go ahead and plug this point in just like how we did on the last example. Okay, so since we have the slope now, which is -2/3, you can really choose what method that you want to choose, as long as you choose, or as long as you work with the point of 2, 1. So I end up having 7/3 as our y-intercept. We have our y-intercept, we have our slope. We can go ahead and put this in our linear equation. So we have y is equal to -2/3x plus 7/3. So this line is parallel to this line. All right, our last and final example will be the following. So question says, find the coordinates of the point of the intersection of the lines y is equal to 3x plus 4 and 3x plus y is equal to 10. Well, this might not seem like it, but we can basically use simultaneous equations here. If we know what y is, we can use it to our advantage and plug it in to our second equation, and then we can find our coordinates of x and y. Okay? So I'm going to plug in y is equal to 3x plus 4 in for y, since I know what it is. And that's where you can kind of begin the problem. Okay, so since I know what y is, I can plug it in for into equation 2, which is basically what I have here. So I just need to go ahead and simplify. Okay, so I figured out that x is equal to 1. I can use x and go ahead and find y using one of these equations. All right, so I know what x is. I can simply plug it into the easiest equation to use, which is 1. I plugged it in, I end up getting y is equal to 7. So where these two lines will intersect is 1 and 7. Alright, so here is your practice problem for tonight. See you guys tomorrow.